Hey guys, it is Ryan, Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. Been here a couple days. We've been looking at one lofts, one loft, one loft, one loft. But remember, before one lofts were regular lofts, right? You all have regular lofts at home. You all don't have one loft. You all like to play in one lofts. But I always recommend playing at home still. I think it's a very important part of the game. I'm with my friend here, John Timmerman. We are in San Diego, and he runs the 2-1 loft races, the California Classic and the Royal Cup, but he also has his own loft. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to rotate the camera to the man. There's your pride
Mhm.
and joy, but that wasn't always you.
No,
No,
no. If you're a pigeon man, I mean, you love pigeons, and it's you just like to have them everywhere you go.
everywhere you go.
It's just something that gets into your blood, and
And I remember when I was here in the first year was 2011. I came here. I didn't have birds in this race. I just didn't. I had birds in the other ones, and partly because I didn't know it was all affiliated. I didn't, that was before the big internet. And you could find out whatever was going on. But I came to this loft and I watched your race, but you had a breeding loft, and it was the first time I had seen the way another guy bred in individual pens. And guys, if you're watching this video, you can pick up so much uh, good information, but just really watch it. John's full of it. You're a professional pigeon man, and you still race pigeons.
yes, I don't race as big as I used to because time consuming with the two races. But I always try to support my club with whatever function they have going on. I have a great club. There's some great pigeons, um, and so I test what pigeons new ones I have, or I test different products that are available and new systems of flying. I try to incorporate that with my own team, my own flying team. If it was successful, then I change things up over here.
Okay, and what this means is, so you still fly in a club and a combine, correct?
Correct.
And how many members are in your club?
The club's about 2 years, 3 years ago, we were at 25, and now I think I think this year these guys 12 to 15, somewhere around
12
there.
to 15. Old birds and young birds you fly?
No, here in San Diego, they flew youngbirds for the longest time, but it was warm during the September, October months, so then they just went straight old birds.
So you guys only fly old birds.
Yeah, late hatches, pretty
Okay.
much late
And
hatches,
how
and
is that working? Good?
yeah, it's worked out great. The guys are able to fly a full season. It's goes back and forth as far as limits and all that, which are typical stuff within a club. But in the end, the diehards, I mean, they're going all the way. They're racing all the way.
And with these birds that you fly in the club or your combine, you also fly one loft races
Correct.
throughout the United States
Yes.
and some international races, a little bit.
International races, yes, it really took on a take with that. Uh, we did Victoria Falls, and we've really taken a liking to Pattaya. In that, I always flew with high cal, like I mentioned before, with Stan out of Hawaii, and another good friend that's known for over 30 plus years, Bill Ensign, 2v1. So he breeds his pigeons, and we decided to syndicate. Stan and I always believe in small numbers to go because it's selection and having a good time. Bill's on the other hand, he likes to, if he goes to a race, he likes to go out, he likes to go in
With
with
an army,
more, with, well, yeah.
small army.
So there's
But
different thoughts to all that. But in the end, you're losing more than winning when you go into these big races, but it's about the competition. It's about the prestige. And when you're into these races, it doesn't matter if it's local races, you're just having a good time. Um, Local races, I mean, most of the time I fly under high cal and I participate, most of the races in Texas, here in California, um, back east, and we've had our share. High cal's had their share. Um, Lately, I flew with in the Paul Daniel race, had a great time. Syndicated there with a Butch Shoop and another lady, Irma, flew help partner up with her with Hollywood Honey, and that's kind of like my vacation too. Um, I mean, when I say vacation too, with going over to Texas for that, because over the years I've befriended so many of these guys over there, and there's quite a few younger, as a younger group coming up, and there's some older guys still there that you just love being in their presence, and the hospitality and everything is just, it's just good.
And so you're going to Texas with sort of like that's your San Diego. You kind of go there
Absolutely.
and enjoy it.
Yeah. Right.
And
Well, and that's just it. You take Paul, for example. He's been here many times. He fell in love with it, and he's promoting what he's seen here, promoting it there in Texas, and that's what it's all about. Throughout the sport, we've been very fortunate. You have so many haters, but without some of these people that have created things, like Mike Gannis. Mike doesn't play too heavy here. He sends birds all over the world, and hey, that's okay with me. If he didn't play here, that's okay with me too. But the fact remains, without a guy like Mike, we wouldn't have what we have in the sport. He raised the bar. He opened, besides my experience of what I saw when I was a kid through LA and all that with those top guys, um, what he's created, I try to duplicate, because that's the hobby. If you have that passion, that's what you're shooting for, and that's what I incorporate into these guys that are 25, 30 years old. If you have the dream and you want it, you go for it.
at the end of the day, it's far better to have people do stuff for the sport than people not. And your Pauls, your Mike Gannis's, yourselves, Ron Steinbrenner, they did it. They
Absolutely.
put it out
Right.
there. Chris Beeman
Yes.
put it out
all,
there.
all of us are characters of some degree. You,
That's
you, you
correct.
see me, I mean, you guys, you don't hear me talk much because, yeah, I could get going and I'll go off sometimes, and not always in a good way. Or I could have passion and yeah, I fall apart. But the end result is, it's those special people that make the sport go. You take a cowboy out of Texas, where are you going to meet a true cowboy and be hand to hand and shake his hand and hey, fuck, he's in my backyard. Or you take these guys in Florida that they do their thing and they explode the sport. Or you take what I mean,
Yeah.
hate him, love him, whatever. A guy like Big Andy, his accomplishments for what he's done, man, that's something to be really proud of. Um, and so, this morning, a Lelton from Dash for Cash calls, and never seen anything like it. He's like I am. We're at that age where we really don't watch these videos and know who's in charge or not. We have younger people doing that, or our wives. Well, my wife says, "Fuck that, I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
She helps with the race, and that's as far as she goes, but always supports me with what I do. But my point is, it's people like that that are going to bring the sport to a new level. And these younger guys, like I mentioned, a guy like Tony Cuevas, my hat's off to him. He's following up with what I did and making it better, just like what Mike Gannis did, and I'm trying to follow. Of course, nobody could really compete with Mike. It's just isn't a different level. But the races that, I mean, you get so much bullshit and criticism. You take the Hoosier, they don't go into a race trying to lose pigeons. They're doing the best they can with weather, and for what for what the operation they have. We should all be thankful. But instead, people want to bash and try to break the sport. But people forget, one loft racing developed because people couldn't control themselves and feelings in club flying, and so they break apart. And now this bullshit starts rolling into. So I don't know. I've said it many times. Pigeon flyers are their own worst enemies.
That's right.
And
That's true.
and
Let the at the end of the day, let the pigeons do the talking.
let the pigeons do the talking. So, anyways, this my operation. I mean, I went on a tangent here, but
That's okay.
my operation is that's my since a kid, since years ago I did construction. I mean, I was a pipe fitter for many years, and that was my. If it was a stressful day, this is where I went. This is where always trying to improve and be proud of, and there's always improvements, but I'm for now I'm happy with what I got.
And we're now going to look at your breeding loft, how you breed. I'm going to throw some questions at you. But when I came here in 2011, I was super impressed at the details. Not in the one loft, it was great. But then I see what you were doing, And that really inspired me. And I've got similar to what you have. But when I seen it, I said, boy, this looks great. I wonder how good it works. And then when you individual breed the way you do, whew,
Oh,
it's on a different
absolutely.
level.
It's, I mean, that's the whole idea is, I mean, we've got some young gentlemen, different guys from different countries flying in the club. And so if they get a taste of this to see it, it keeps them hopefully going in the sport. And if I could touch, if they could touch a few guys, well, then the sport will continue. And because that's the name of the game.
Now, let me ask you, this is a little different. So these are all individual pens.
These are all individual pens. At one time, this was a race loft, and then I converted it. When I knew I was going to stop racing, I just built this. I gutted it and did something nice. At the time, there was an older gentleman, Norm Budinger, also out of the Simi Valley FEC, probably one of the top carpenters with pigeons. He was an old German man, and so he built me some really special fronts and whatnot. But just an awesome guy.
Well, I'll tell you, this is done really nice. Can we go in and take a look? So these are all individual pens.
Correct.
And all these individual pens, they all have aviaries. So each pair has their own aviary.
On these ones, yes. I have a few more. Just a few.
Okay, guys, we are with John Timmerman. Hey, look at that. Hey, you ever been to one of those?
Yes, that was a picture when it first came out from the late Peter van Ramsdonk that sent that to me.
Now, there's something that this picture can never show, but these people know what it is. You know what it is? The smell of sweat off the pigeons.
So this is some of the winnings back in '98. At the time, we had who are the names? I know the first bird was Carnival Fletcher. Actually, Carnival Fletcher was number 2. I called him unlucky. This is when we had to use the rubber bands.
Okay.
And it was just a couple of seconds, but you can see the difference in prize.
These photos were done by Hank?
These photos are done by Pete.
Okay.
Peter Veron.
Oh, yeah, Peter. Yeah. Real good natural photos. There, there's the man.
That was Daryl Phelps. Like I said, he was instrumental, and that's what kind of choked me up because sometimes we forget those that we loved, and then you realize they're gone.
Yeah.
This is my grandfather. My grandfather was a pigeon merchant back in the 40s, late 40s, no, mid 40s, in Amsterdam. Survived selling pigeons. He was on the market for 25 years, and homing pigeons, fancy pigeons, and so that's probably how my father's those that know my dad, he's still here. He's 88, still 250 pigeons, not in the best of health.
No.
Thought he was going to pass away twice.
He's still sick.
Yeah, still thought I was going to pass away twice. Actually, I mentioned a month ago he was in the hospital, and I brought him home. Did you feed my birds? Yeah, Dad, I fed your birds. And my mom, of course, hey, he's getting too old to take care of him. We got to move him out. I didn't want to step on his toes, so I said, you just tell us what you want to do. He says, yeah, I'll move him out, 5, 10 every couple weeks. Well, we're still at 200 plus. I mean, yeah.
Not going so good.
No.
All right. So
this was old Gene that I was partners with. For those that he came from the San Jose area, and that's kind of what gave me the lift off to be where I'm at today.
Okay. And now this is your individual pens.
Yes.
Okay, guys, take a look. I like this is exactly how I remember it. Nice dowling doors. Yeah, take a look, guys.
Down below, that's.
I just want to open this up just so people can see.
Right there is the cock is going to go down. That's one of the last sons that came out of the hit pair from Kuwait that Gannis now owns, the 611 blood. That was directly bred by the master in Kuwait. This hen did very well. She flew in the Crooked River, also half of the 611 blood. New stuff, just trying, as a pigeon guy, you got to try everything.
So everything's the same. They're all off the ground. They have an acre. They can go out. I like this guy. Look how he does the water.
Yeah,
Water's simple.
this pigeon here, the son of the Rossi cock, which was sold to Ken Easley and now resides with Thomas Baldwin. Super cock. I don't know. I mean, he's produced me so many good ones, and of course, cousins to him, responsible for Mesopotamia, doing very well in some of these one loft races. A daughter of his flying from my friend John Stevens, the Hall of Fame, I believe this year, with her, and it's still on his race team, but it helped him win this trifecta deal they got going on in the GHC.
And in here?
Nothing in here, just because so my waters are here.
Yeah.
My grits are here. So.
All grit.
No, I'm sorry, my grit's right there.
Grit's there, okay.
I feed a lot of pellets and corn. Yeah. So I do the pellets. The birds manage themselves what they got to eat.
Okay.
I do mix in a mixture of feed as well. But I do this style that way I don't have to follow up on these birds. The feed's good for 2-3 days.
Okay.
And then we refill.
Mostly pellets.
I feed mostly pellets for these young ones.
Now they're going to ask me, what's the brand of the pellet, the name of the pellet? You know?
Well,
you want to give that up?
Yeah, I'm not afraid. So my feed, my pigeon feed is all from Leach. Last year we brought a container in from Bayers, which is awesome. The price points didn't allow us on the West Coast here to really continue with it. Loved it, but no. Leach, they've been the best. From the feed to the staff in the office to Ryan, who is more or less who runs it, Ryan Leach. Anything and everything he'll do for you. And so just love doing business with them. There's Cruz. For those of the guys in Texas, I believe that, go through him. Tony Gutierrez, he's out here as well, just a super guy. And so I go back and forth between Leach and Cruz. The pellets right now, I've actually used through Cruz. And they have actually a pellet that's has oregano and vitamins and all the good nutrients. But I use the pellets just because it's easier to digest. And of course, a couple weeks, the young birds will be on grain. Then that will stop.
Do you think is it a difficult transfer? Do you find it difficult from pellets to grain with the youngsters?
I don't. The pigeons will eat whatever you want. You want to give them cat food, right? Like you look at William DeBrown. So this stuff here, right? I have it set up to where I don't need to clean it all the time. And if it gets wet, then I could always put some kind of powder to dry it up. But like I said, with the program that I have, I don't really get wet droppings. Because normally on pellets, you will get that. Sometimes, guys like pig pellets, guys like a higher pellet, that just goes right through them. Mm-hmm. So 18 to 20%, that's it, max.
All right, guys are going to ask. Wait. This is pink water. What is the pink water?
That's just the vitamin water,
okay.
Imported, but from the Philippines.
From the Philippines, all right.
And good stuff. Josh Prater, I don't get it through Josh, but for you guys, you could talk to him. He's got his little feed store over there, and you could contact him, and he's got a lot of different supplements as well. But it was quite interesting that he had it. So.
Well, one thing I like the lights here in the hallway. Okay. And like Xavier Verstrada said, pigeons like the dark. And I like your boxes are up. They're up here in the dark. It's more romantic.
Yeah. So this is a famous pigeon. This pigeon here is Justify. Yes, the Justify that JoJo International always talks about. This pigeon was sold to CL Gage. And then a few years ago, CL gifted him to me with a few other Patrick Boakes pigeons. And anyways, I sent a baby off of him 2 years ago to Crooked River, and it was ace pigeon, flew phenomenal. I mean, it was champion ever speed winner. Um, just a good one. But he was prior to that responsible for 3 other champion one loft race winners for either Gus or for CL. But it was more Gus, I believe.
And again, this is 100% Patrick Books. This is a direct son from
Sagon. This is a direct son of Sagon.
Very rare pigeon. You can't get these anymore. Direct son of Sagan, Patrick Books in the Diamond Brabant. Sprint racing only.
Another son last year for Gus bred the 4th place winner in Florida Derby. But you know, the guy's got super pigeons. You know, my neighbors, Timmerman-San, Mesopotamia. They just won champion in Dubai with half of this blood. Not my justified, but he had another pigeon down from the Sagon and won champion. Won champion middle distance. So yeah, pretty cool.
Excellent, super nice to see the winning blood. It was nice you got a chance today to talk to Patrick. First time ever.
Yeah, you know, guys.
You made his day.
Say what you will. Think what you will. Say what you will of Ryan, but he's got connections. And you know, going back to like this Chris DeBucker, I visited the man. Very inspirational, very knowledgeable. To get pigeons that are coming from top lofts like that for an auction, that just doesn't happen. And no bullshit. 10 minutes ago, just talked to Patrick Bokes, just because he heard what happened here. And of course, the interesting part is, you know, Tony Hassan being a neighbor of mine, good friend of mine, winning champion bird in Dubai, the best of the best. That's fucking another story. Phenomenal.
That's right.
Phenomenal. You know? But
it all works out in the end, eh? You get good pigeons, you put the time in, and just like you're doing the breeding, you're leaving no stone unturned here.
No, like I said, I've been in this game a little while, and I've always appreciated the people that had a passion, and the passion's in me since I was a little kid. And there's many guys like that, and that's why I said sometimes some of us, I mean, I know how to keep my mouth shut. That's why you don't hear me on Facebook and all that shit. But those people that are, like them or not, they're game changers, and you got to appreciate that.
I want to also point out to people, in between these sections, it's wire. So there's motivation. The cocks, they motivate against each other. The hens motivate against each other. They're not solid boxes. There's a little competition. They look across at each other. They can go in the aviaries and look across.
Right.
These breeders here, they have babies now. I see that. How many rounds will you take out of these?
You know, I've got a few extra pair over there. We won't go into detail, but we'll go take a look real quick. But my first round, I got some pigeons going to Guadalajara for a special derby there, and then I'll be sending pigeons to the Hoosier and Crooked River, and then from there I take care of my local guys that fly auction birds, and I do have another acquaintance that I'm giving some pigeons to that flies on a similar tough course just to test them. Like I mentioned, guys, this isn't, you don't need to be like this to be successful to have some extra pairs, which you're about to see here. I'm just a pigeon lover, and I'm always trying to reproduce or go back. And those that know me, I'm not one to sell. I mean, I'm more or less one to, you know, try to thrive and keep the sport going. If you want to buy a pigeon, buy them all. That way I can quit. That's my philosophy.
Are we going this way?
No, we'll go that way.
We'll go this way, all right?
Well, you can keep walking here. That's fine.
But there you guys see.
Yeah. This one right here is right off of the Red Eagle from Aztec. Crossing them on the son of down from the 611 blood. Those birds are going to Mexico. We'll see what they do this year.
You really thought when you put this together. Do it once, do it right, eh?
Yeah.
That's smart.
This is a favorite cock. This goes back to this pigeon here. Sometimes you get lucky. This cock is bred by Mike Shafar. I call him Rambo because Mike is, if anybody knows Mike Shafar, Mike don't take no shit. And but he is responsible for my 9th place average speed winner in Pattaya a few years back. He's responsible for a pigeon 2 years ago or last year in the Compton Club. There was the Morales brothers flying a pigeon 8 weeks straight, champion bird. Also real high in the AU for Hall of Fame. Just been a superstar. But my point was, I got lucky off this pigeon because I bought him on an auction site for a few $100. And sometimes you get lucky.
And there you guys see.
This cock here, you could take a video of it. This, also another 6'11". This cock is a brother to Gannis's out of the hit. This is a brother to the hen of the hit pair, whatever she is, Carrot 8 or I don't even know what the fuck they call it, but nice pigeons. We'll find out what they do.
But always individual pen breeding.
Always individual pen breeding. You know, I do have my own solid family of pigeons, which I call the Huber line, which was from Dwayne Gregg. Dwayne, out of so many fanciers, he's so modest. The man just has the hands. He keeps 5-6 pair of pigeons and he just wins. He's always been a top competitor. If you go back for the last 10 years, he's always right there. He's older now, so he doesn't put as many out, but he's gifted.
All right. Hey, and you know a lot of the top guys running a race like this over the years. You get to know guys.
Well, yeah, you run these, you get involved, and hey, the money is not the factor of what a good pigeon is. Like I said, that's where it goes back to trying them and seeing what the birds can do. That's why I suggest, you fly races where there's a challenge for your pigeons. But absolutely, when you got guys like Aztec or Westfall or Mike Gannis or those type of individuals bringing in the best, Big Andy bringing in top birds, yeah, competition is getting harder and harder, better pigeons. And then when you guys get lucky enough to hear a video or see, what I'm telling or showing, now the younger guy's he's gonna come back and take my prize. But that's the game. That's okay. I'm at a point, I've been in a point for a long time that, you want everyone to do well.
Yeah.
Like I said, the winning a race, you're gonna lose more than you win, but it's the memories that you make, and it's the friendships that, like I said, here in San Diego, for what we've done, that's just the best. For those that experience it, that's why we get emotional, because we all miss that.
Well said. Hey, let's keep looking. Let's see what else you got here in the tickle trunk. We are here with John Timmerman, looking at his own birds. And I take this, these are more individual pens?
Yeah, just a few.
Just a few. So all again the same way. And I see in here you have automatic drinkers?
Yes, so we come back here. It's a gallon for 4 pigeons. So it's good for a couple days.
Couple days, yeah.
Just
And
in case we get too busy, and here it does get warm, and depends how the birds are growing, but the pigeons, I could put stuff in the water. I could really monitor what they're doing. These are spare parts, cocks, some more cocks there, and then I've got some more hens here.
for people, spare part, you mean just extra pigeons?
Yeah, different pigeons. I mean, yeah, you can look.
So there you guys see. What a great way to keep pigeons, eh?
Well, it's like I said, for me, when I was a young man, it was the dream. And, it's just, if it's in you, this is what you do. You don't have to go this big, and it's really more work than really what's necessary, 100%. But you love to look at them, you love to breed them, and through this, I get very selective with what I do. Like I said, no, I don't sell pigeons. Guys are, what the hell? Why so many? Well, yeah, that's why my loft name in the beginning was Pigeon World USA.
I can see why, but you did everything the way you wanted to do it.
Yes.
And you keep the level high. I can see you do this. You do it once. Build an aviary once.
Right. Well, I mean, if I had to do it again, I mean, this is a lot of this stuff's already been up, many years, and I've remodeled it once. But now, of course, they got new material. If it's the fiberglass board or the concrete board, that's the way to go. They'll never go bad, and some of that stuff stays painted forever. Wood, especially out here, is bad. And coming from a construction background, I don't like things that are crooked. I don't like things that fall apart fast. You try to do it right the first time, and you just that's the game. But it's all within your budget, what you can do.
Well, yeah, what you can afford.
Right, and some of it was done many years ago, and but you try to do and keep it up. It always looks great the first year, and then all of a sudden stuff goes to hell.
Yeah.
So.
And these are all pull-out trays underneath.
Those are all pull-out trays. That was a mistake that if I could change it again, I'd come up 3 foot off the ground as well. And maybe one day I'll do that on some more of the property over there, where I'll just demo all this and start over scratch. And the less you have to bend over, the less dust, the better it is for your health. I shouldn't say bending over. Of course, that's always good to do, but the dust is the most important. I mean, it's a killer.
Yeah, 100%. But you can't do it always 100% perfect. But man, this is quite the setup. So you always know who you're breeding out of.
Always know who I am.
There's never a question. And guys, you see, so individual pens, how many would you say you have?
Just a few.
Just a few. More than 10 and less than 100.
Yeah, if you could count them real quick. No, yeah, I've got a few, but some of them. The first round, I always like to mate everybody out, and then probably April, May, I'll have some birds ready. Before that, actually, but I'll have pigeons that go to the international races, and then I'll breed out of special pigeons like Sagon, extra birds. Try to get as many as I can, because some of these pigeons get up there in age. Yeah, and then from there, they're not all good, but I've become a little selective, and picks the ones that I like, and gift some pigeons away. And I mean, no, I cannot breed them all, but I'm also not going to let good ones sit on the side. You got to utilize them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So this is the setup.
This is the setup.
Where do your youngsters go when you wean them?
I have another place.
Another place. So you take them over there, they wean.
Well, like I said, I take care of the one loft races that I'm in, what I'm participating in, and that's again, sometimes, like I said, you don't score because you're trying pairs, and it's not the handler's fault. It wasn't a click pair or a defect pigeon, whatever. But you gotta send them out to try them. I take care of those people, take care of the one loft races first, and then I breed 75 to 100 for myself, for my own backyard racing, and try to fit that time in when I have downtime in between training or whatever. My focus, as far as like the club racing, my competition in the club, these guys already start in October, November, December, training, doing something, whereas myself, I can't let them out till December, and they got to be on the road within 4 weeks, because we start racing already in March. But that's not my priority. It's just trying to be a socialite in the club and test different things. And of course, you, you always look and see what pigeons are still left. You'll find that we could blame the Falcons, we could blame the Cooper Hawks, but there'll be pairs where all the babies will still be there, and then there's other pairs where they're all wiped out. So that's something. Is it because those pigeons were defect, or is it the other ones were better? But those are all things you have to take into account when you're doing your own culling to see what's good and what's not. I've got some beautiful fin pigeons. They didn't survive in my backyard. I don't know, but yet friends of mine in Florida love them to death. So I haven't had a chance to send them there, and because I've bred quite a few younger ones, but that's where they'll go next.
For people that are wondering, and they see this video, they say, "Oh, I want to build something like this." If they have questions, yeah, can they contact you? Say, hey, can I pick your brain on? Oh, you should have raised that up.
Oh yeah, I don't mind questions. Send me an email. I'm proactive with making the sport better. That's why I said you get in it or you don't get in it. This was just in some insight. Ryan approached me to do something like this, and I'm haven't seen him in many years, and here we are. And I think he's a great guy. I think that, like I said, my comments as far as you got to make it good, you got to let bygones be bygones between other people, and because the sport only gets better when there's unity. It doesn't get better when, just like pigeon clubs, when they're breaking apart, it gets less, and then people start getting discouraged because you might have that minority that likes to bitch and complain, but the rest of us don't want to hear it. We're just here to fly pigeons.
Well said, John. Well said. Yeah. Hey, on that note, what a great Lofts. You still kept it up, still going good. The spare parts are beautiful. When you look in the spare parts area, I'd like to put some of those together. Good luck in racing this year.
Well,
hope you don't win too many of them.
No, I mean, sometimes you get lucky. I mean, we've had, my high cal team with Stan. We've been fortunate. And like I said, it's nice to find a partner to do these things with. I found somebody who's very humble, honest, and that's what you want. And you look forward to the races where you it's the yin and the yang. You balance each other out, and that's what makes it even better. And through the years of doing this stuff, there's no hate. Even people that have been, for whatever reason, it's life, and it's people get hot in the moment. If you really have a passion, yeah, you could blow up fast in this stuff. Believe you me, and I have. But is it worth it? No. In the end, for us that are having pigeons, we all have the same passion, and that's what you got to move on with. There's what happened 20 years ago happened 20 years ago. Move on.
Okay, let her go.
Let her go.
Let her go. It's okay. There'll be another race next year. Go back and do it again.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, guys, I mean, hey, for someone like myself doing it for years, you get such a passion for this stuff, and then you look forward and you see what people have accomplished. That's touching. And I'm sure, someone like Mike, who he keeps composure. But if you think about it, from the videos that he did to his freaking races that he's involved with to the pigeons that he's brought in, what a story. Nobody has done something like that. And you got to give a man credit for that. And that goes to all the guys in the past that David Clausings, CBS, these are the guys that were the game changers in the sport until present day, where you got the Le Manses or the Paul Daniels and the Big Andys. I mean, hate them or love them, they're game changers, and you got to appreciate that. I mean, that's what the sport is. It's not always going to go the way we want it to go, and that's why I go back to it's just like a race. Don't cry like a bitch if your bird doesn't come. Just move on. Just be happy that they're putting on a race and doing it, because nobody wants to go into this to lose pigeons.
That's right. Hey, it's a sport. Enjoy it. When you lose, forget it. Move on. Adjust.
If you do your homework like you're supposed to, those are the guys that do races. Yeah. If you haven't, you should probably take a back seat and just learn it first, and that way you can accommodate and deal with it better. But for those that are in the hot mode, that put the investment in to do something special and nice, hey, don't be a hater until there's always something. These guys, nobody goes into this stuff trying to lose your pigeons. And there's nobody that freaking is 100% in this game. It just doesn't work that way.
No, and when you enter, be prepared to lose.
Yeah,
be a good loser.
you always want to be optimistic, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's where, like I said, One Loft Racing. What was the core of One Loft Racing? It's not the big prizes. It's about the gatherings and making memories with your friends and sharing the information. I mean, some of these guys have followers that, they're listening to their ideas and get brainwashed. You got to look outside the box sometimes and stand back. What is this all about? And that's the game.
Hey, well said. Great loft. I wish you luck again in your regular breeding season. Good luck at the California Classic and the World Cup. We will be following it this season, and I'll be back again once you got some more birds in, and everybody's out and
like
about.
I said, cool interview. We're gonna go here to the San Diego Club now and let them share their history of what they see. But individuals like this who basically not doing a one loft race, but going all over the country to interview and see races and spend time with outsiders. That's huge. People don't look at that. People look at someone who is also passionate and emotional and all of a sudden, because they might have said the wrong thing, are angry. But it goes both ways between a one loft race guy and someone like this who is trying to be a game changer in the sport. And we should be thankful for all of it, for what we're doing in the sport. We've lost a lot, but for what these one loft races, for all these guys in the USA, we're the game changers in the world. There's nobody in the world that follows our lead. They're trying to. Europe didn't know what that shit was 25 years ago until they started some of these guys coming here. And they saw it. Now look, races in England, races in Poland, races in Denmark. I mean,
the one loft racing all started here in the United States.
Yeah, that's something we have to say.
Yeah, you won it. That's right. You guys.
Well, it's history. I'm not. Hey, I wasn't by no means. I was the main guy. I was just the main guy with the vision to take it to another level, to show it or be a contributor to that. But there was guys before that had the drive as well and had a vision, and you always tweak things to try to improve. And again, going to someone back like Lelton, Dash for Cash, he asked me, what do you think? I said, forget about what the public says. Do what is your passion. Do what you wanted to accomplish as you get older, because life is short. That's all I can say. And the motherfuckers that don't pay and give these people a hard time, get out. That's all I'm going to say.
Well said. Guys, that is John Timmerman. California Class Royal Cup. You've seen his loft. You've seen his setup. You've seen how he is breeding. Take from that. Steal from that. Use from that. So much good information. If you want to participate in the Royal Cup or the California Classic, you can. You have time. Send your birds. Starting in the middle of March, start to send your birds. Don't be shy and come down for the week and experience it.
If you don't want to put birds, that's fine. But you should at least give it a shot to meet people that, you're gonna learn. For the newer guy especially, you will learn something.
And that's the best part. And I'll tell you, when you come down, you will get your socks blown off, because all three races, put on a hell of a show. Well, I think we've done it, eh?
Yes, sir.
We've done it, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. I told you. Oh, let's switch. I told you it's over. It's done. It's finished. Now we go over to the San Diego Classic. I'm Ryan Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. That's John Timmerman. Like, share, and subscribe. And thanks for flying with me, guys. Thank you. Hey guys, Ryan, Feathers Elite Pigeon Auctions. We hope you enjoyed that amazing loft tour. Please, a reminder to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Until the next loft tour, thanks for flying with me. Bye for now.